Sofa with Esther. Every day a place where legends and stars hang out, sharing untold stories and unforgettable moments. So get cozy and relax into inspiring conversations that you won't hear anywhere else.
Ladies and gentlemen, to be having on my platform the beautiful, talented Stephanie Spruill. Have I pronounced your name correctly?
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfection.
But sometimes my teeth want to do otherwise. And I'm just going to do a very brief introduction because there's so much to Stephanie. And what we're going to be talking about today is very, very special. So, joining me on the sofa with Esther is the remarkable Stephanie Spruill, a God-gifted coloratura soprano. Stephanie has excelled in music, recording, performance, composition, and education across every genre and all 7 continents. From A-list session singer to international touring artist, Stephanie joins me on the sofa with Esther to talk about her part in the biopic Michael, because she played a very, very special role as part of that biopic Michael about the King Michael Jackson. Stephanie, welcome. Welcome. There is more I could have done and said to introduce you, but I do know that I want that to come out in your story. I want
Yes.
to really get the essence of what you are and who you are, because you've come through so much, especially over the past year.
Yes.
You know, Stephanie's house went down or up in the fire in is it Pasadena last
And
year?
Altadena Firestorm and my recording studio also, with all my gold and platinum, all my awards, all my NAACP, Grammy, gold and platinum albums of all the people I worked with, all the pictures, that like even Michael signed, Elton John, just all of that. Poof, up in smoke.
And now here she
I
is
am. Yes. Go
about
ahead.
the biopic Michael, but we're also going to be touching in and out of Stephanie's incredible life. So, Stephanie, I like to ask my guests, I've probably asked you this before when I've interviewed you, but I'm going to ask you again. Who is Stephanie in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell? Just a very brief something about yourself, and then we're going to expand on that.
Yes. Stephanie is first and foremost a child of God. I am a mother, a grandmama. I am a wife. I am a great friend, and I can count my friends on one hand.
Good. That's good.
Okay. And I am an artiste. I am a creative. I studied, and in school, cello, played that for 13 years, but I was always singing in the choir, and I was in a performing arts school, the Young Saints, which took me around the world, sang for presidents at the White House, did the Ed Sullivan Show, Las Vegas, that's what introduced me to this incredible industry we call show business.
Mm,
And the leaders and the founders of the Young Saints, they were also performers. So they taught us with skills and intent and with backstories from them, what to do and what not to do. So they gave that all to us. And I am also an international vocal coach, artist developer. I have performed on many, many, many award-winning albums. I have over 1,400, gold and platinum that I've worked on, from Michael Jackson to Julio Iglesias, yeah, I was a rhinestone cowgirl with Glenn Campbell, and and just everybody, Elton John,
oh,
Sir Elton
Elton, Sir
John.
Elton, by the way. Yes,
Yes, Sir Elton,
absolutely.
yeah, so I'll tell you a story when we go further in depth with the interview.
Brilliant.
That, was that a coconut shell or was it?
That was a nice coconut. Yes, yes, yes. I was going to say a crab because I want to crack the crab open now and get
There you
more
go.
of who you are. And so,
Yes,
Steph, um, you've been very blessed. I would say very blessed throughout your
yes.
life. And I do feel, I mean, I don't know the whole of your life personal story, but I do know from last year what you've experienced to where you are now. Um, that was certainly a journey. And this is all leading up, ladies and gents, to the conversation that I'm going to have with Steph. Do you mind if I call you Steph, by the way? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, my friends call me Stuff, but you can call me Steph.
Oh,
Yes.
Steph, because that's going to lead up to the biopic, Michael. And
Yes.
what Stephanie did around that. But if you can just tell the audience a little bit about what you went through last year, what was it like to lose everything? Everything, Steph.
And without a knock on the door and says evacuate. I've been in Altadena for 50 years.
Mm,
And I bought that house when I first got a lump sum of money from the industry. I said, it's all about getting my legacy, my 40 acres and my mule, okay? So I created a recording studio there. I have all my couture, I have all my collections. I've toured the world, all 7 continents, several times. So every time I went to a different continent, I would pick up an artifact or something special, a great painting or sculpture or clothing or whatever. And all of that is gone. Uh, but I was smart. I was thinking on my feet. However, it was jet black, it was just devastating. I felt like I was going through the diaspora, you
mm,
know. It was deep, and with no lights, just jet black. I grabbed my will, my trust. I grabbed my corporate papers. I grabbed my laptop computer. I grabbed, clothes because it was winter time and the wind was tossing things. It was an anomaly.
mm,
I had never experienced anything. Like I said, I've been there so many years, and we had never had a fire like that. We've had fires up there, yeah, but the firemen came, knocked on your door, you can evacuate, we'll take care of your property, blah, blah, blah. I've done that maybe 4 times, but this time it just took everything. And you know what I learned, Sister Esther? That they are things.
mm.
Things can be replaced. However, memories are
Yes.
here and here.
Heart. Mm-hmm.
I have the memories. I worked hard all of my life. Nobody gave me anything. I worked very hard, Esther, for everything that God had bestowed on me. So, what He's going to do, He's given me more and He's going to bless me far and beyond I can even imagine. So, I'm building back better, um, and not bigger because I'm older. My husband and we're doing this together, you know. And to tell you, on that in Altadena, it's an incredible African American community because all the rest of the communities, like LA and Pasadena, they were redlined, where we
Mm,
could not, as African Americans, live there. They wouldn't sell to us. But they said, go on up to Altadena. And
mm,
Altadena have panoramic views. It's phenomenal. That's where JPL is, okay? Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Okay, so that was primo and is primo property. People are trying to come in and buy that property up. No, Altadena is not for sale. So anyway, I'm rebuilding my home, of which we are doing, and I'm just blessed to know I'm here, I'm healthy. But yeah, all the golden plate, all the awards, all those things, signed photographs from Michael and Elton, and just my legacy
mm.
on paper is up in smoke. My legacy is here and here. And what I'm passing forward to my grandchildren, to my daughter, to my community as creatives, as African Americans, that we're so resilient as a people. And that's
Mm,
why I said I felt like I was going to the through the diaspora when I was going down Lake Avenue. It was jet black and embers are falling on the car and everything. I says, oh my God, I feel like I'm on one of those ships.
Mm.
You see where I'm coming from?
Wow.
So it was deep, and I had to find a place to live. Every hotel, the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn was booked, but I found one in Glendale, a beautiful, and at the Hilton, and had stayed there 2 months. And then we found someplace else. We stayed for 4 months. Now we're in a wonderful apartment in Pasadena, and we're here until our home is built. So the home is where the heart is.
That's right. That's right.
And the heart,
You take your heart wherever you go. And
wherever I go.
it's like there's a song by Paul Young, the singer Paul Young, that says, "Wherever I lay my hat is my home." And from
That's
what you're
right.
saying, you've made your home wherever you are. And yes, you must have gone through some sort of grief because, you've had to leave so much behind.
Oh,
But then
so much.
so much. And but then in the midst of the processing, and this is what we're going to come into now, Stephanie, in the midst of all that, I would say grief, processing, change,
Yeah.
upheaval. Tell us about your role in on the biopic Michael. It's about Michael Jackson's story. Was that something that sustained you throughout? What was? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. And in the intro, while I was going through that, losing everything, I lost my baby brother to a 25-year battle with prostate cancer. So it was a lot of grieving last year. It wasn't good. So mentally, um, you have to be strong. That's all I
Mm,
gotta say. You have to be strong and believe who you are and whose you are. Because people can't fill that cavernous hole. Only God can
mm,
do it. But you let him in and continue to stay focused on the purpose and your intent and rebuilding your life, your mental, physical, emotional, family life, right?
mm,
Now, when I said that as backstory to say, move forward. Michael was a lifesaver for me, the biopic, because I had worked on that movie for 3.5 years. I couldn't say anything. See, prior to that, the Jackson Five, who are the Jackson Five in the biopic, who are incredibly talented young guys. I mean, they are so talented. They look so much like the original Michael Jackson J5, which I
mm,
worked with, on Dancing Machine with J5. I played tambourine on that album, and then Can You Feel It? When Michael called me to do it, to do this biopic after losing everything, knowing that they were there in my house
mm,
to hurts for me getting them ready for the movie and then lose that. And then when they called me back to do some post-production and to some reshoots and stuff like that, that was phenomenal because walking around the set, I'm like I was floating. It was
yes.
like an out-of-body experience because I was grieving so. However, I'm a professional. That's why I
Mm,
teach my people my 17 points of longevity in show business, staying focused on your vision. Okay. I had to stay focused on my vision. My vision was to help Giuliano, who played the young Jackson, young Michael, and going to Havenhurst to work with Jafar, who plays the older Jackson, and all the other Jacksons, the Jermaine, all of them, which they came to my studio, but now I have to go to them. And I found a great studio right underneath the apartment I'm living in now. So they would come and the crew would come shoot, or do some things. That was B-roll, not for the movie, just for the backstory.
mm,
Um, while I'm teaching. So the biopic was a lifesaver for me. People said, like Antoine Fuqua and the publicist Claire, she said, Stephanie, how can you be here? I wouldn't be able to come. I said, baby, I'm in my truth. When you're in your truth,
you show up.
you show up and show out. Because I didn't walk around, oh, woe is me. I didn't even tell people. In fact, I went there. It was July the 9th. That's my birthday. When they called me to come back and shoot some more scenes in the recording studio with Michael and Barry Gordy, it was my birthday. So they celebrated my birthday on set and everything. I didn't tell anybody, but the publicist found out. And so they had a cake and, they gave me my flowers, and give me my flowers while I'm here.
Yes.
You see, don't wait until Miss Stephanie's not here and say, oh, she was so wonderful. No,
Mm,
because Stephanie always showed up and showed out in a
mm.
positive way. And I brought people with me. You see, I brought people with me. I believe a team, the acronym is together, everyone achieves more.
Absolutely. But it's got to be the
We
right
do.
people as well. The right,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. And I'm the right person
yeah.
to be on your team. So
Mm.
thank you, John Warhurst, who's the musical director for this film, and Harvey Mason Jr., who's over, the Grammys and this and that, and the
Okay.
Antoine Fuqua.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry. Ooh,
That's brilliant. No, that's okay. I can pick that out.
thank
Um,
you.
but it's interesting because, as you've shown, Stephanie, that life can be lifing. And in the midst of that, like you said, God gave you something to place your focus on. But also, if you notice, Stephanie, it wasn't just you focusing on that. It wasn't just you going in there and delivering and bringing others with you. But in a sense, it was a healing because it was a nostalgic journey because you had worked with Michael anyway previously, correct? So
Yes.
what I feel is that a lot of that was this real sort of cathartic moment of remembrance, of nostalgia, and then also just giving back.
Giving back. Giving back. I mean, that's our job here on this planet is to serve.
Mm,
That's biblical. That's
mm,
what we do. That's what you do. We serve. And then when we serve, we are blessed tenfold. We can't do it alone. So many people, think it's a crab barrel and all that. So many people are in that mindset. I'm not of that mindset. I'm a
mm,
creative, and I will continue to be a creative and serve what God, the gifts that God has bestowed on Stephanie Spruill.
mm.
You know, give it back to our creative community because they need people like myself. Like I mentioned, Evelyn and Tommy Freeman, they gave back to me. I'm paying it forward.
You're paying it
I'm
forward.
I'm paying it forward to give back because they need that so badly because this is an industry. The industry is incredible, but it's
Mm,
the people in it
mm,
that make it dark. I'm going to keep it real, you know. So whenever you can bring light to darkness, of course it overcomes.
absolutely.
You have to bring the light because dark is there because so many people bring the darkness because they're just in it for the money. I'm in it to to um, be in my fullness. You see,
And it's your purpose as well.
it's my that's what I'm saying. That's my fullness. It's my purpose, my passion.
Mm,
All that's biblical.
mm,
So I live on a different frequency than a lot of people. I'm on a very high frequency. We are energy, our bodies are energy, but our voices and our spirits are frequencies.
absolutely.
So that's where I live. I live at a high frequency. And even though whatever it was, the devil or whatever, tried to take it all away from me at this age, as wise as I am, but you learn that you could be brought down also when you don't have someone or the higher power to rely on because we can't do it by ourselves. We just can't.
Mm,
Those were things. That's why I go back. Those were things. Michael is a living process because he was a genius. He was a
mm.
spirit. He was a high frequency. When he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning to do Can You Feel It? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? But I'm up here. And
Uh,
so he loved my coloratura. He loved my soprano voice. So he had me quadruple my own voice. So when you hear the track, you hear this high
oh,
soprano. That's
yes.
me. That's me.
Ah,
He pushed my voice. He was a genius. He knew what he wanted. He wrote
very strong
everything.
ethic as well, very disciplined. That's
No,
what,
no, 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 no. Extremely disciplined. Like I
yeah.
said, he was on a different frequency
Yeah.
on this planet. You
Mm.
you see, so sitting next to him, you could feel the energy. When he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's what he did. He got up. Some people will tell you that he called them, and those are special people. Probably Rodney Jenkins, I think that's his name. People who work closely with him. I felt honored when he called me that early in the morning, and you know his voice. Hello, Stephanie. So I get up. I set up like a board. Yes, Michael, how can I help you? He
Uh,
already had hired me to see, I'm a vocal contractor as well. A lot of these albums that I did, like Donna Summer and Elton John and Gino Vanelli, I Just Want to Stop, all these hits, Julio Iglesias, Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, just so many from Bach to rock. Okay. I was the vocal contractor. I hired the other voices.
my
Yes, and filling out the paperwork. Thank you, Mother, because she was income tax consultant, Notary Public. She said, sit here at my office, and so I can teach you how to be a businesswoman. So I am a businesswoman. So I know how, like I said, show up and show out. So you go there with your paperwork and fill out your paperwork and turn it in to the unions and be a union activist and be present. Because
Mm.
I learned a lot of people didn't turn their contracts in and stuff, and a lot of people didn't get paid. But I wanted to get paid, and I wanted my people to get paid. So when Michael called me, okay, I have 45 choir, person choir for Can
Mm.
You Feel It? Big, huge choir, all the wonderful voices. Then he called me. When he called me, he says, can you also get me within those 45 voices? I need a children's choir of every race, creed, and color. Now that's a feat.
Mm.
However, I stayed up because I only had one day to do that because the following day was the session at Record Plant in Hollywood. So I stayed up, couldn't wait for 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock to come so I can call all the children unions, have them come to my studio. I had to audition them because you had to show up and sing, not say, no, 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 you had to sing, honey.
Mm.
So I had all these kids come and I auditioned them, and I got the little children's choir and my girlfriend, who is an incredible designer, um, now, anyway, Paulette McWilliams' daughter was on there as a little girl, and my daughter Yolanda Paloma was there because she can sing, and Bridget Romanek, great singer, great singer. So I had her, but she was just a little girl at that time, right? And so a lot of the kids, but I had a lot of people in the choir. So when I got there, I had my children's choir, I had my big choir, and my paperwork in hand, and started hitting it. And I was also the choir director for Can You Feel It? So when Michael heard my voice as I was singing and directing the choir, he said, Stephanie, I want, yeah, I want to record your voice, just you, soprano, okay, on Can You Feel It? So that's why you hear my voice so prominent on that. And Heartbreak Hotel, I did with Quincy and Michael. That,
Oh, yes, that's one of my favorite
that
heartbreak.
that's
Yes.
me, that high voice that's doing that. That's Stephanie Spruill. So I had a specialty. I have a specialty. I haven't lost it. It's early in the morning now. I haven't warmed up, so
That's
I'm
okay. We forgive you.
attempting to do all this.
Have some tea. Yeah.
Yes, I have a spotlight,
I
right?
just wanted to thank. That's really good, darling. Just need a bit of cake with that, a bit later. You'll be fine.
Yes. But yeah, that's my truth.
And
and working with my,
Stephanie, for all that you've shared, the connection, the opportunities,
yes.
uh, what do you feel people are going to take away from watching Michael the Biopic? I mean, as we know, there's lots of things still floating around out there, and a lot of that can be fluff and noise. But fundamentally, what do you feel people may be able to take away? Because each one is going to be different the film will bring out different things for different people. But for
Yeah.
you,
Because I've seen the screening and they're going to take away that the man worked so diligently, morning to night,
mm,
that he was a spirit, a gift from God, that he loved his mother, he loved family. He not only was a phenomenal creative and one of the most successful artists of our time, and I think of any time.
time.
No, there will never, ever in our lifetime be another Michael Jackson. They will take away the discipline that you need in order to be successful. And not everybody becomes successful, but stay in it. Stay there. Whatever your gift is, I don't care if it's a flower arrangement.
Mm,
You do your best at what you have. And the trials that he was going through, his family dynamic, I'll let you guys see that and then have your takeaway. But it hurt me to see, the way his dad was. But without his dad being so um discipline of teaching them, they wouldn't have been J5 at that level. But
and that's
yeah, at that level, because he knew that they were against the Osmonds and this one and that one and the third, and they were African Americans, so they had to show up
right. Yes.
and be the best and be the best. So he was cruel, but yeah, he was cruel. I didn't like that. But the mother, Catherine, she was so loving. And they have a spiritual connection in that family. They different than mine, because they were Jehovah's Witness and I'm Christian. Um, but we all believe in a higher being, a higher
Of
calling.
course.
That's what it was. And that's what he tapped into. That's what you will see, that he tapped into his spirituality and the power of thinking positive. You guys going to see that. He would speak positive affirmations to himself. That's what I do to my students. I give them a mantra that they have to repeat to themselves. That gives you the opportunity to take away that white noise that's going to come, whether you like it or not. It's there. That's the periphery of life. But if you stay focused, which is my second principle, stay focused on your vision and that's my book, 17 Points to Longevity in Show Business. The subtitle is Staying Focused on Your Vision. And I also add a sub, not the vision that somebody else has for you, but the vision that God has put on your heart to come to fruition.
Mm,
That's what Michael presented. But after, you'll see, the world will see the picture. And I want you guys to figure that out. But he went through a lot. He went through a lot, even the pain. He worked through the pain. So it's crazy, it's crazy. And the juxtaposition is the brilliance.
Venus, that's right.
The brilliance. And that goes up to the higher being, that being down the manna from heaven to Michael. That's my truth.
Mm,
And that's what I believe. And that's how I felt being in his presence. The
mm,
truth of the Holy Spirit being on him.
wow, wow. And if there's anybody, because between your story and what you share about Michael and others you've worked with, sort of winding down. If there's someone who's sitting on the sidelines, if there's someone, because at this moment in time, also as we know, the world, there's just a lot of
Woo!
chaos. The energy, and this is where your words came in about staying focused, because you could easily be distracted into feeling and sensing the pain of others or the injustice. There's so much, whether that's about war, whether that's politically, or whether that's how man's inhumanity to man. But in the midst of it, there is a rise of the activism for those who are sort of spiritually, and I say spiritually, whatever your religion is, but spirituality
Yeah,
or
yeah.
connectivity.
The universe, yeah.
What is it you could say to people just to keep that energy at a certain frequency and vibrancy? What would you say to them at this moment in time?
Don't believe the hype. All this negativity is being hyped up. It's overload.
Mm-hmm.
We are energy, so our bodies cannot take that overload, but your spiritual side, whatever you believe in, honey, I don't care if you turn yourself into a pretzel. Whatever you believe, there is a higher power. And that is the frequency. That's our soul. That's our spirit. Tap into that. If and be around people who are like mind, because not everybody will be there for you. You think they will, but I learned that after losing everything. I found out who was real and who wasn't.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes. Um, don't give up,
Mm,
don't give out,
don't give
and
in.
don't give in. That's what I'll tell the young people, the older people. As they call me, an auntie, honey.
Mm,
I'm considered an elder. You sit at my skirt, at my feet, and learn from the elders because we've gone through it to get to it. And you're going to have to go through it to get to it. You
mm,
see, everybody has their journey, and we're all works in progress. Nobody's perfect. I'm far from it, darling. However, you learn from you're going to make mistakes. That's life. But
absolutely.
you just learn from your journey, and then you turn poison into medicine. That's what I've done by rebuilding. That was poison. Seeing my house and my recording studio and all my accolades and all my couture and all the things that I gained and including my husband. I'm not the only one in that house. Lost. But I'm turning that poison into medicine because that's what it was.
Mm,
Me, I'm here.
mm,
I'm in the moment. I'm telling you, stay in the moment. Oh, that moment is gone. Now let's go to the next moment. Oh, that moment is gone. Let's go to the next moment. And try to stay as positive as you can. Just stay prayed up, stay in touch with the universe because the universe got us all. So, whatever you do to keep you centered and focused, do that. But that dark side, stay away from it. Keep the light shining because the light always overcomes the dark. Behind every dark cloud, there's a what? Silver lining. And
yeah,
that's the truth. That's from
brilliant.
grandma.
Brilliant, Grandma. Steph, I just want to say thank you. That was very, I would say, enriching.
Yes.
Um, I think that's the word, enriching, nurturing.
Hallelujah.
When you sit
Yes.
around the feet of the elders, that's that place of enrichment and nurturing. You know,
Yes.
the storytelling, but also the wisdom as part of that. And
That's
um, and out of this, what I can really take away out of everything you've spoken about, it's more so about showing up. Because when you show up for you show up for your purpose, you show up for others, just showing up.
just showing up. And we have to show up for each other because we have to keep, like I mentioned, the diaspora, keep hope alive.
Mm,
Abanigani tutawanana asante asante.
Thank you.
I'm just keeping it real, sister.
I'm gonna come and meet you again.
Oh, we got to have lunch when you come to America.
Yes,
Okay. We
yes,
just you and I, let's just have lunch
yes,
and
absolutely,
fellowship. That's what you and I
absolutely.
have to
Yeah, I'm
do.
feeling this. It's feeling. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it?
Can you feel
Can you feel it?
it?
Come on.
High five. Bless you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking to the wonderful Stephanie Spruill. Um, do listen to this. Well, I hope you've listened to this because this is the end of the conversation. I hope you've listened to it with that intention. Maybe you might need to rewind to different parts, but there's so much meat in this conversation. There's so much inspiration to inspire. There's so much. And even with the story of Michael, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm not sure when it's coming out in the UK, but looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
it's coming out April the 24th, worldwide.
Oh, it's worldwide.
It's
Oh,
worldwide in every theater around the world.
oh wow. Okay.
He was the biggest star in the world. And also purchase my book, 17 Points of Longevity in Show Business, Staying Focused on Your Vision. And check out Miss Stephanie. My IG is Spruill House, SPRUILHOUS. My Facebook, the same, Spruill House. You can Google Stephanie Spruill, STEPHANIE, SPRUILL.net.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. One thing I can say about you Americans, you are on it with, when you're promoting. Had a lovely lady over here a couple of months ago, and she was 88, and I'm still living life. I'm like, I need to come into that energy because in the UK it's slog, 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 slog. But yeah, I need that energy. So thank
Yes.
you, Stephanie. Thank you so, so much for your time, for your wisdom, and just looking forward to meeting you again. I
Yeah,
I feel
baby.
like I've met you in person, but I don't think I have. But I keep saying again, so that
No.
must be an energetic thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been via Zoom or seeing you, online.
yeah.
However, remember we're a frequency. So
There we
we
go.
haven't met each other.
Yes, because
Our
it's
frequencies
yeah, yeah.
are in
It's
alignment.
an alignment. Absolutely. Bless you. Take care,
Bless you.
Andre. Thank you very much for connecting
Thank you, Andre.
and all the best. Go and see Michael, the biopic, on the 24th of April. Thank
Yes.
you.
God bless you.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.